Right. In the midst of your whole experience. Yeah. It's like my first marriage. I think was the day. Got down to me for my cheeks, like I was right. And then like, come on, man, let me just go ahead and right. Hang down. Then I be trying to feel it. So it's like, go ahead, go ahead. Right. Horrible. I met the man that got in the house. And if you take him to the kid, and they go okay. Hey, Steve. I said, y'all got Yeah. Consistency, you know. Consistency is like. Yeah. That's right, we'll see again. No. Right.
So she did some great dialogue.
Technology.
I was following this structure. I look what you did. Yeah. Oh man. I might have a red cup.
Okay. Oh, you free?
Okay, thank you. Grade two. Grade
Will
two.
do.
Let me sit here for a second, Jack.
If you go,
Yes, we're supposed to be respectful, that's the 10th annual Love and Life Relationship Talk.
Yeah.
Good stuff, y'all. I look forward to this every year. I really do.
So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Of course, for those of you that are joining us in the audience, we know people are going to trickle in as it goes along. We are live streaming on YouTube right now, so we're going to post that link on the According to Kai's and Queen page on Facebook. So put that link up, y'all can share it if people want to join in. We'll go ahead and get this conversation started.
It's already up, Fred?
Yep, it's already up. Brad Kamikaze Franklin is the YouTube page, so if you want to go to that page and just share the link, you can do that as well. We are going to start on the end. Mr. Preston, we're going to have all of our panelists to introduce themselves, the partners to introduce themselves, single people, of course, to introduce themselves, and then we're going to go back and we're going to start by getting everybody's background stories. So, sorry, Preston.
Good afternoon. My name is Preston Johnson. I'm a licensed professional counselor. Been in profession for 18 years. I'd say I'm maybe halfway known around here as a event promoter as well. Owner of Base Up Production. I've been doing that for about 11 years now, I think. 11, 12 years. And that's about it. Newly engaged, we're going to discuss.
I'll make sure y'all project too, speak up.
Okay.
Now,
Hello, I'm Allison Christian, fiance of Preston Johnson. I'm a HR paralegal, to an attorney in Jackson, and I'm the owner of BH Boutique.
I'm Sheena Lewis. I am the partner of Tony Yarber. I am the executive assistant to the sheriff of Hines County.
Okay. I'm Tony Yarber, and I'm partner of Sheena. And what else?
What do you do?
Oh, what do I do? I am an elementary math consultant, and I do principal coaching. So I travel around the state to different schools and different school districts, working with children and their teachers.
Next, we got Kimmy.
I'm Kim. I used to have Kimmy Sweets. I'm also the creator of Before the White Dress podcast. I also own Sahara Glory, as I had a boutique online. And I'm the CEO of Easy Rider Truck.
And your background.
Oh,
You are here to represent.
I'm here to represent Divorced and Complicated. Very complicated.
All right, Shannon Jones. I am a family law attorney. I'm also a group fitness instructor at Crunch Fitness, and I also work for a nonprofit, Warrior Nation Ministries. I'm the mother of 3 adult children and one handsome grandson. So I'm representing single and dating, I believe, but also I guess kind of in the divorce category too.
Hello, everyone. I'm J Structure Jermaine Jenkins. I'm the CEO and owner of J Structure Beauty. I'm also a non-medical case manager for Life Inc. nonprofit, which is Love Inside for Everyone. I am representing the LGBTQIA plus community, and it's single and complicated.
Hi, I'm Lawanda Clay. And we've been 19 years. It'll be 19 years Tuesday. And
I'm a contract physician. She's office manager that takes all the money.
I do more than that.
But that's enough. That's an important.
We have 5 beautiful kids. One, 2 is in college. One's in high school. One is in T-ball.
Well, y'all keep
Spread out.
That's a family.
Live, Third Coast Radio. I work for Trustmark Mortgage. I've been there for 8 years. And I'm also 8 years military vet. And I'm representing the single out here.
Thank you all so much for being here. Now, if this is not your first time on the panel, raise your hand. Thank y'all so much. This is our 10th year, and it's huge that this conversation has been going on that long, and people have been continuously engaged in it. We have a lot of different kinds of conversations, but the thing that I want y'all to know that I really love is that the couples on the panel actually learn from each other. So it's not just about the audience, although audience, you're welcome to engage, that's important too, but it's always really clear that information is being passed on and lessons are being learned from the panel to the panel. Okay, so let's just kick it off, baby, what you got?
All right, so we'll start with the single folk, and then we'll work our way up to the seasoned married couple. So I want the single people that are on the panel. I want you guys to kind of give us an introduction to what single life has been for you, the dating experiences have been for you. Have they been positive, negative? Are you frustrated? Are you tired? Has it been going well? And we'll just kind of go from there. So Shannon, since you are a veteran, I
I heard it all. That's what he said.
this is your third time
It is my third time
on the
around.
panel. So yeah.
She's a all-star.
Yeah.
I love it like all.
Yes, baby. So the first time I was on, it was as a single woman. The second time when I actually had someone I was dating that was accompanying me and not for long thereafter. And that relationship lasted, I don't know, about 5 months. And do you call a relationship if it's only 5 months? So I ain't doing nothing there because it don't really last much longer than that. And then, of course, I'm back single. My issue is, I believe, it's really hard to find someone that, as my mother would say, you are equally yoked with. And the pickings, unfortunately, here in the area are slim. Finding someone that's a good mate has been difficult. I was in a relationship not long ago, and I think my issue was that we were not on the same level. And I'm not talking about finance, okay? I'm talking about the same level all the way around, what I want in life, what he wants in life, where I am, where he was, that is hard, finding somebody that's your match, right? So especially when you're in your 40s, like when you 18, 20, you got time to build and grow together. But when you get in your 40s, I don't have time for somebody still trying to find a way or trying to, I saw a meeting that said I don't need somebody with potential. I need someone that's already potential. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need you to come on and be there. I said once upon a panel, I need you to be an asset and a liability. That was my quote. I have worked too hard to get to a position where I can travel, I can do all these wonderful things, and I don't need somebody holding me back and holding me down from doing those things that I've worked hard enough to be able to do at this point. So that's the way I feel about it. I just don't feel like I've been able to find a good match for me.
Sidebar question. How long does a relationship last when you're on the panel last? How long does it last?
About 5 months.
After the panel?
No, I don't even know. What was it? We were in April. I think we dated till no, that was, I'm trying to think what it was. The dark skin?
Yeah.
Okay.
You remember who it was.
We actually dated 7 months because we stopped talking in July. You wanna know why? Sure. He was trying to be slick and talking to somebody kind of behind my back and didn't have
And
you can't afford to talk to nobody behind nobody's back. So if you're gonna be doing something behind my back, I need you to be in a position to do something. And he was not. Borrowing money from me, don't ask me for gas money.
Oh, wow.
That is what we deal with. I'm telling you, they think we be playing, but it's true. You have guys asking women for money, asking you do this for me. Am I child? No, my kids are home. So why dating right now. You
Right.
need to be focusing on getting yourself together.
So
And then
Shannon,
come back around.
hard question.
Ma'am.
I hear a lot of what the dude did wrong.
You wanna know what I did?
Did you contribute to the failure of that relationship or any of the relationships?
That one, no. Now, I will say this, my present situation is I think I've busied myself so to where I'm not making time today. So when I do have a potential person, I'm so busy that I really don't take the time to get to know somebody. You know, I got a class, I got to go to the gym, I got to do this, I got to do that. So they call it, I'm not returning calls.
So did you even want?
I've said I don't. My best friend said, but that's not the kind of woman you are. You desire to be in a relationship. But I'm steady saying, no, I don't. And she's saying, yes, you do. So I feel like I'm good. You know, but I think when the right person, once I allow it, comes along, I'll change my tune.
Or you can allow the person to be to give it a chance so you don't miss it.
Hi.
I'm
Go ahead, no.
Well, I'm gonna say this, because then I haven't, whatever, and I have learned this with myself. Sometimes we say one thing because we don't want to get our heart broken. So we be like, I'm tired. But then in our heart, we don't want to be by ourselves. So we have to go ahead and agree with that person because we got to move on. Because we don't want to be in our beds by ourselves.
I got a icy.
I know, but
So I think it's not necessarily heartbroken. I think it's disappointment.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of dealing with, man, like again, are you serious? You know, so I don't even entertain it to a point where I'm just like, you know what? He gonna have to really come and be like, look, you gonna talk to me. You gonna see me. But
You gonna run into the same Shannon. Shannon the one that got to do work.
So
Anyway,
Kenny,
I ain't
do you
trying to session y'all
do you,
out.
oh, you right.
do you consider yourself single, or you say you're divorced and complicated? That's kind of
Okay,
the
so
same, right?
it is divorced and complicated. Actually, I got divorced, but we moved out and we moved on. But when I moved in my apartment, I didn't want to bleed on nobody else. That was my thing. So I was like, you know something, I'm chill because I don't need to be having my stuff on somebody else. I need to get my shit together.
Yeah.
So that's what I was. Now, once everything started, even now, this present day, I'm like, okay, it's time to date. But guess what? I got my stuff together, but I had to grieve the divorce. So then I had to start grieving the divorce because you do have to grieve the loss of people.
How long have you been divorced?
I've been divorced 3 years, probably 4.
So do you consider,
I was married probably 15 years. My son is 23 now. I have dated him. We have been together ever since I was 15, and I'm 39 now. So that's the thing. But I needed to get me together because you had a business, you have this, you have that, and also I stayed kids. I was like, boy, please go on. Then you got to have, I got to have. But then when it was time to date, I had to deal with that divorce. So that's the
so do you
reason why I
consider
said
yourself to be single?
I am single. And I'm kind of like her, so I guess I feel like, look, you don't have to come with it, but you don't. Get your shit together, and I didn't have my stuff.
Y'all can cuss, it's cool.
Oh, okay.
Alright, Jay Structure.
Well,
Before you start, what was the IA at the end of your acronym?
for the LGBT community, A is for acceptance, plus is for pretty much everybody.
Thank you.
Okay.
Very good.
Thank you for letting us know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I just gave it.
You did, I was
I'm gonna
saying
break it
that.
down.
You're supposed to know.
No. But for me, it's single and complicated. It's complicated because I personally make it complicated. And I make it complicated because I accept things I shouldn't accept.
Come on, man.
Yes, I kind of roll with things that are, you just shouldn't roll with. You shouldn't settle.
Yeah.
I had this conversation with friends, and you just shouldn't settle. You shouldn't, if you are who you are and you know what you want and you believe in yourself, then that person should, as you said, be an asset to you, and not a liability. You can want all you want. I figured that out. You can want all you want, but it may not be what you need. And I share with friends that I know that this is something that I want, although I may not need it, but I'm choosing to make it happen. I have myself in this position, and I believe once I'm ready to fully let it go, then I will. As a
There's something to
single
be
person.
said for awareness.
That's important. I'm like, am I making shit complicated?
Well, I mean, we always say things are complicated, but we only look at it from one point of view.
That's
What the next person is doing or has done.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you doing?
right.
Sit down and think about what are you doing. So I know that I'm part of it being complicated. Right, because I don't have to deal with it, but
you do.
I'm making a choice
Yeah.
to deal with certain things. So.
Right.
So with me, I purposely built the wall because I knew I had faults that I needed to heal from. My background is, a big part of my background is military. A lot of things happened within those years. A lot of things that happen that are not fair to project on people that come into your life. And I learned that. I had to learn it the hard way, but I learned that. And so I built a wall, and I've been purposely healing, going to therapy, doing positive outlooks, the art and all that stuff. And I've been single on purpose because I am not going to bring somebody within my life knowing that I can't look at myself in the mirror properly. So until the day, and it's coming, because I look at myself in the mirror now and be like, what's up, black man? But before that, I just refuse to do that because I'm not going to take that person to my mama knowing I'm not fully going to commit to this person. I'm not going to take this person out in public and say, this is my significant other or this is my partner or however y'all want to do, the titles of the relationship. I didn't want to do that to myself because I know I'm not going to fully commit to that person. Because I'm not fully committed to my healing. Until I'm fully committed to my healing, then I'll be able to fully commit to somebody else.
So do you date at all? You go on like casual dates or you just staying away altogether?
Nah. And that's something that I'm aware of. And that's something I'm gonna have to break out of. But right now the door is kind of creaked open. But I have a feeling that somebody's gonna come and kick that shit in. So I ain't kicking that.
Get on me, then. I'm here.
You take me out together type shit,
So we'll start going into our couples. We have dating, we have engaged, we have married. So, Brother Apostle, we'll start with you. Last time you were on this panel,
I told you.
You did. You did tell me to sit over there.
last time that you were on this panel, Brother Apostle, you were married. Had a whole other wife who was in here with you at the time. That situation has changed. You are, of course, once the mayor of this fair city, so you lived under a microscope, and a microscope that got scrutinized a whole lot, including your personal life. So tell us about the journey from the last time that you were sitting on this panel to being here with Ms. Lewis today. And I'll let her, of course, give her account of the story.
Don't start hiding. I think last time I was here, I was faking it, knowing I wasn't gonna make it. And it worked. It worked for as long as it worked. Let me tell you something though. I'm gonna tell you what freed me up, and it's gonna trip y'all out, maybe. So y'all know Dion Cole, comedian, right? Right. So I'm watching a Dion Cole comedy special. Dion Cole has this bit where he talks about getting pulled over by the police. And he's talking about being honest. He's like, you don't never know, just tell the truth, just try it. Like, just try telling the truth. He says the policewoman pulls him over, and she's fine, and he's looking at her, and so she makes some comment about where he's going, something like that. He basically like, where you want me to go? Follow me, I'll follow you, let's go to my house. And she said something along the lines of, no, that's what he said. And the police officer's like, well, where you live? So the point was, he just tried being honest because you never know where
Right,
people
right.
are. So I said, you know what? Let me just start telling the truth. Let me just start giving folks Tony instead of who folk want Tony to be. Now that created a lot of problems for a lot of folks. But Tony got an opportunity to start living. And so now I kind of live my life like that. My life is, it's all I got. I don't know, it's all I got. Either you can deal with it or you can't. And those who can get the benefit of the gift of my presence. So I didn't just get there, right? I didn't just land there. I was a whole marriage for 19 years. And so I had to grieve my marriage. You know, it wasn't about grieving my former wife. It was about grieving the relationship, grieving a standard that I had, you know, for life, grieving coming home at a certain time, you know, all of those things that was my normal, seeing my children every day. And so I think between then and now is I've gone from faking it, knowing I wasn't making it, to just being honest, and whoever the hell don't like it, that ain't my problem, that's yours.
Yeah.
So as you were sitting on that panel, because I'm thinking back to it, and I'm thinking back to those conversations, what was running through your mind at that time as we were having those discussions?
I think I was trying to make sure I said enough so that I was honest enough, but that I wouldn't have to have a long conversation when I left.
That's the whole situation.
Right? Because let me tell you something, when you're dealing with people who can't do nothing with your truth, then you got to do a lot of explaining to them about, and that's exhausting.
Yes.
That's draining. You know, and so then everybody, you know, everybody talks about you got to communicate. But communication, it takes more than talking. Because if I'm studying talking and you ain't hearing what I'm talking about, and I gotta come back and explain it again next week, we don't have a communication problem. We have a compatibility problem.
Yeah.
And we trying to fix something that we can't. And so all that time, we're trying to make stuff, because it wasn't just me, both of us. You know, we're trying to make it work. When at the end of the day, I never forget, she came, and I'm not telling anything she's not saying. I remember her coming up to me one day, I don't know, probably about 3 weeks before we decided to divorce. She came to me and she says, I'm tired of pretending, and you should be too. When that lady said that to me, I was like, oh boy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you really want to have this conversation? Well, let's do it. And it was like it was the most freeing conversation that we ever had. It was a conversation about how we're not that to each other. And I won't say anymore, but we had not been that to each other for a long time.
So Ms. Lewis, I want to get your side of the story and how y'all got here. Full disclosure, of course, y'all work together, y'all church together. While he was in his former marriage as well, so y'all had a lot of interaction with each other. We already talked about the scrutiny that this gentleman had going on. He was under the microscope being married. So from your perspective, how did this relationship blossom into what it is today, where y'all together on this panel?
Well, for me, and that is correct, one of the things I think we had going for us was that we were friends. We were real friends. And his own scrutiny going on. I had my own going on. And there were scrutiny ties simply because we did work together. Simply because we did church together. That scrutiny was something. You don't have time to tell your side. You don't have time to process. So you go through levels of things in your head. So I had to grow up a lot. I had to fight battles by myself. And a lot of what I needed and what I got came spiritually. And it came spiritually within the church that I was a part of this church. So it was a friendship that was the foundation, right? I also had my own situation going on so far as other guys and what have you. And that was a whole terrible situation that I was juggling along with everything else. So I think we kind of landed in a spot round about the same time, maybe June 2020. Was it 2020? Around June 2020, I said I gotta do something. My way was working out. My way was stress relieving through working out, fitness and things of that nature. My friend was also trying to get his life together. Working out was real easy for me, and for him as well, because in his past he was a trainer. So we was like, all right, homie, let's get our lives together, right? Yeah. I meet you at the gym, and we really just started working out. I said, train me, because I don't know what I'm doing. We'll see how it works, because I don't listen to friends, right? So as we started training, as friends, I was like, something's happening here, right? And I was scared of that because of those dynamics. Worked with them. You churched here. And people gonna think and say whatever they want. Doesn't matter what the truth is. Nobody cares about the truth these days. So for me, it was just nice to be in a space where I had a friend and who understood a lot of the things that I had been through and was going through and was mature enough to put himself in a position to counsel and be a friend and be a pastor. That was amazing to me that he could find that balance with me without putting himself on me. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So we worked out and we got closer as friends and closer as friends, and now we're like, maybe we need to have a conversation, a real conversation, and that's kind of how it developed on my end. I stayed away from his stuff. I didn't want anything to do with that. If he came to me for something as a friend, sure, but I stayed away because it was just too much, right? It was too much, kind of murky, and I care about how things look and how things come off. Some things you can't help, but that's kind of how it manifested.
But can I say something though?
Yes.
It was easy though because I ain't have to explain anything. Like, she knew everything. You know what I mean? So it was like I don't have to have any extra conversations with her. Like she already know everything. She know her. She know about this. She know about that. So that was easy for me. It ain't like I had to sit down and say, all right, now, you might go to the mall and you might see so and so, and now she already knew about so. You the one told me, hey, you need to chill out, cause this what I need to chill out, man. You just want to sit down and do what I heard, you know. So I didn't have to. I didn't have to do all of that. I didn't have to go through
Damage control.
Thank you. Yeah, it was already done, so it made it really easy.
And can I say this really quickly? What helped me kind of relax from my crazy season was him saying to me, okay, in that conversation that started, so I'm going to be really honest because I don't have time to be doing things how I did in the past. So I'm going to be really honest, good, bad, and real ugly. And I got the good, the bad, and the real ugly. And why I could appreciate that was because he gave me a choice. I don't like when people don't give me a choice. You let me choose to be dumb. Don't play me dumb. So he gave me a choice. This is what I'm struggling with, and this is what I'm working on with me. Now, you can rock with me if you want to, but this is what you might run into, and you might run off. And I said, oh well, I'm a little off too. Let's work on it. Let's just see what happens, and that I was appreciative of that.
All right, so let's go to the engaged couple. Preston, I'll let you kind of tell your story. Probably a lot wondering what woman have been formed to deal with you
Is it that bad? Is it that bad? You gotta know
a
what.
lifetime.
You gotta know what friends.
So
All your past, I do.
I'm extremely interested in hearing her story from her side. But I'll start with you on your end and talk about how y'all got together and how you got to the point of you proposing.
Okay. Well, yeah, talking about gauging the crowd, man. Yeah, this whole kingdom, man, ain't said that. All right, so, we met, in 2002. We both went to Alabama State University.
It's okay.
It's not gonna get no love in here, brother.
Right.
It's not getting no love in here.
She gonna start doing
Don't even get it started. Don't even get it started. That's
That's a whole nother fight. You see how we ride?
Yeah.
All right, so, yeah. Look, no nepotism. All right, but, she played JK, I played Alpha. And that was pretty much it. Like, she was a little sister on the camp. And I was an Alpha. I was doing Alpha things. So I wasn't focused on, any type of relationship. Well, like, that wasn't even my trajectory. But her line and my line, we stayed in touch. So it was like a distant friendship, you know. So pretty much half my life, I've always known her, and she's always known me. Then the pandemic happened, and so in June 2020, right in that same time frame, we just had a conversation. Literally, somebody that I always known, and we had a conversation, and I was like, and I remember it was still a conversation because, like, it was conversation. we agreed to just hang out because nobody going nowhere.
Right.
So we agreed to hang out. I think she brought some arts and crafts. So it was pain.
So I have a cookie lady, and she does it like every holiday. Like she does it for the kids, and I had gotten an extra pack, and I have a son, so I've gotten an extra pack. I was like, I'll just take the first one when I go over there, and so that's what we did.
It sounds nice.
Thank you.
That was a little dating. I was painting, coloring, and I mean, is something wrong with it?
No.
I'm just saying. Okay, so that wasn't really the thing for me. The story was like she came out. I didn't think that we just hang out. But she got in the car. I was like, I was like my whole because I didn't. It went from next. She was wearing. She just changed some t-shirt. I was like, oh, it's a click.
Yeah.
I was like, because I had never, half my life, not she looked out. I was like, oh. And so, and the evening went pretty well, and then conversations happened after that. I was very candid up front. I said, like, I'm not dating, like, this is 30. Like, I'm not dating, at this point in my life, for a girlfriend. I'm not there. I said, I'm on a date with intent to potentially marry. So what that looks like. So either like we can date towards this goal and identify that. And if it's not, then okay, we can be okay with it. We have the undershot. But like I'm not, okay, then we're gonna be girlfriend, boyfriend 5 more years. Yeah. And then we're gonna get engaged because that's the societal norm, right? I was like, no, let's be adults about this. This is where I came from. And she can explain how this from her world, which is different, because you have to be considerate of another person, their journey to you. And it's like this is my stance. I want to not try to get to it, but like I'm very specific in my path, and I want you to understand that. And so we went down that journey, and for me to go from the engagement, to go from the single to the engagement, it was I had to understand that I've been living a certain way, like as a single person,
and I have to really switch my mind to fully consider another person. And so that's been the adjustment for the most part with engagement. It's like really considering that this person has a whole new, not new, but that whole space. And I have to consider that as opposed to, and it sounds okay, but no, it's this situation stuff comes up, and it's, you know, because my life was, this comes up, I know how to handle it. I do it in my sleep. Right. This is like, but let's do that. But like, then when she has input, consider that and really adjust to that. So, so that it's ongoing right now. And and just from my understanding, just listening to people, I don't think it stops.
It don't. It don't.
So,
Constant compromise.
I think that bridge of understanding that my what are my customers doing, being, because I think I'm a considerate person. I think I'm considerate, but like it's different. It's a different type of consideration, and so that for me is the adjustment aspect. So yeah.
Okay. So Allison, let's get your account of this story, how y'all got to this point. I guess the first question I might have is, why?
That is not nice. Don't do me like this. Don't do me like this.
I
Yes, everybody be like, what's up?
Everybody knows.
Yeah, this is what we do though.
So as far as like, yes, we met in 2002, and so of course life happens. I'm actually divorced as well. So for me, I came with 2 babies. So and as far as like, you know, having somebody that accepts 2 babies, I have to have a disclaimer that one of them, one is not biologically mine, so I still claim her. So for me, him accepting not only like my son, but accepting somebody that I still hold dear to me, and he accepts her as well. So yeah, so then as far as like the pandemic, like you said, the pandemic hit, and as far as like we have to. So, and then just getting to know Preston as Preston, not, you know, not PJ, not Asa, not, you know, Brad or anything of that nature. Just getting to know Preston and things, and just our background and his background, and then just seeing where everything would be as far as like as Shannon said, like the same goals and things of that nature. And then as far as like in a relationship, you know, everybody has the same goal, then like the journey to get there may be different. So it's just like mention that as well. So, but yeah. So then as far as like, you know, the same thing as everybody else, like, you know, going through a divorce and then having to, you know, have that person, you know, to let that relationship go and to
Okay. We'll go to the Clays, our seasoned married couple. Y'all been married 19 years, is it? 19 years. So y'all got an interesting story. We'll talk about, you know, how y'all got together, and you know, we're here for the honesty. So, you know, whatever bumps in the road, y'all want to talk about how y'all got over. We can get into that, and then we'll get into a more deep conversation with everybody.
Well, we met at Jackson State.
That's how it's done. That's how it's done.
We met in, what class was that? There was a teacher that was Father Child.
Father Child.
There was a teacher there that I would always be late to his class, and she didn't know me about being late to class, but I only really came to take the test. She's trying to get on me even though she didn't know me. And one of my friends was looking at me, like, man, this man, he wanted to holler at us. So He said, "Do you mind going to talk to him? Because I'm nervous." I told her, "There's $1,000," and I just kept on walking and went on about my business. I guess I met back up with her about 2 or 3 weeks later. And I guess he wasn't nowhere around. Then I invited her to a birthday party at Suits. So, in this started off.
This got rock.
Similar to Tommy, where I didn't really want to be at. It just, I was just pretty much, not necessarily in the streets, but I was going around everywhere. I used to travel a lot, so I used to travel. We met at a Jackson State Southern game, and I just happened to, we was at the Superdome, and I just happened to hear, I think we usually heard my voice, she heard my voice out. All these people there, we met up again, so eventually, we started down there.
I don't want to go.
Hey, look, she been here, they gone.
I'm gonna go right here.
You remember that one night? So what? You remember that one night? No, you.
Oh, wait a minute.
So yeah, we met at Jackson State, like you said, and he was supposed to be looking his buddy up. But instead, I told him no, that's my type. I really told him he wasn't my type. But because he was, like he said, he was busy. He was busy. I used to see him coming back. I stayed on campus for a little while, so I watched him. And he was late to class, like he said, all the time. But I made a B, he made an A. And I'm like, wait a minute. And he would just come and get notes from random people. And he make an A, I make a B. I'm like, I'm doing this wrong.
And you going to class.
Showing up in class.
So we started talking, and I found myself laughing because I had been in a bad relationship. I had it cut off. I didn't want to date either at that point. But talking to him, I found myself laughing, like uncontrollably laughing, and decided to go out with him to that party. He asked me what I drank, and I told him Crown Royal. He almost lost it. I told him Crown Royal. Why?
Brown, because women.
You couldn't believe you drank the cognac and brown.
I think like Prime was
Society has
I know. No, but I was raised by borrowing. Like my grandmother owned everything she had, she owned. So I was raised to borrow. So I was taking a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So yeah, when we got together, when we decided to.
Oh, you tell me this was.
No. Yeah, I wasn't dressed up when I met.
She used to wear sweatpants or baggy shirts and.
Baseball cap.
And I was like.
On campus attire.
She was studying.
No,
I was trying to stay hidden.
Yeah.
I was trying to stay hidden. Yeah.
She had a good thing on one day, triangle.
James.
Yes.
It formed kind of like a perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
And I asked her, I said, well, why you dress up or get something else besides jacket? I guess she decided that maybe she should try it out. I guess she was still reading. I guess her brother's more fashion shit that she didn't talk.
That's true. But yeah, so I said, okay, yeah, so it should be in and off campus, on and off campus.
Street
And
attorney.
it didn't work out that one time.
No, I like,
You stuck around.
was it the crown roll or was it here?
Both.
I tried again without the crown
Not
roll.
trying.
Okay. All right now. All right now.
So, being also,
So, my bride tells me that, you know, y'all had a bump in the road in the marriage. I think everybody in the room can benefit from hearing that story. So talk about that, talk about what happened, talk about how y'all got over.
Well, up the road was out, well, I it was me. I was finishing up with chiropractic. We just had a baby. And we used to have to go do, what you call it, seminars in different states. And I used to invite her to all these different seminars, but she didn't want to go. She was worried about getting housing. You know, we'd be gone 3 or 4 days, or you might go out, maybe 4 or 5 months out of the year. When you get to the point where you just say, I want to get it up to the room by myself. So you invite somebody to go with you.
oh, I thought it was gonna be the collector.
That's almost adjacent. You got to the point where, well, I mean, I didn't bring it home. Of course, I wouldn't, you know, on its own, doing all that kind of stuff. Bringing the information to the hospital. But eventually, the person that I was dealing with got disrespected. I was trying to let my wife know everything that.
So just for clarification purposes, what you're saying is that because of these outside trips that you were having, that she had the option to go to, but didn't go to,
What?
you began having an affair.
It wasn't just because of me going out of town for the trips. It was just the fact that it was before she moved back home to Texas. I had came to Jackson first to do that set up my clinic.
Okay.
So in the process of me setting up my clinic, I was actually teaching at junior college. So built up a relationship with somebody that was working at the and it wasn't really supposed to be anything until my wife.
So you were trying to keep yourself occupied until she got back.
Yeah, I guess because I know like I was adjacent to the street. I was constantly moving around, right? So I could easily go home and sit in the room and be there for 4 or 5 hours. I'm where I can find something else to do around the city or go to a bar, have a little drink, watch a game, anything else. It just pretty much person that dealing with she.
Okay. And then she started getting disrespectful.
She getting very disrespectful.
That was about it.
How old was So 12, right before she really goes like, this person, she went to call around to a couple of hospitals trying to figure out where my wife was at.
There you go.
But me and my wife and I were discussing what was happening with, kind of like break, not necessarily break, but letting them know what situation was going on.
Yeah.
Oh,
So before all this happened, y'all, this is what alerted me. He came home one night, late. I go outside to the car, make sure, you know, he may have been drinking, so I go outside, make sure he okay, car okay, and all that. It's a phone call, like religious phone call, in the middle of the night. So, yeah, that's how it all started.
Did you pick up the call?
What?
Okay.
He didn't say nothing. So that's what caught my awareness, and I started asking him questions. He gave me about this much information. Until in comparison to how much.
Yeah, how much more? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, the lady ended up coming to the hospital.
Oh my God.
She brought, you know how you, might go out of town, you might snap some pictures or whatever. So she brought pictures to the hospital, to give it to the order, and bring it up to the room.
Ooh, like French pictures?
Yeah.
Cause
Both
I
of
had,
y'all is just up.
This throwback.
For being her.
Because I had already.
You had to go to like Walgreens.
They got to persecute you.
And so, by the time she had already knew what was going on, I was upset. I went downstairs. Didn't feel like I was taking this out. Yeah, she is. So after that means, I took it upon myself to make it right. That was like, that probably was 5, 6 years ago.
Pardon me, I'm sorry. You, make it right. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
What I said
gonna
make it right was I had to prove, I had to get my wife's trust.
Yeah.
So after working on getting my wife's trust, of course I not of course, but I did.
That's a good start.
Well, I mean,
She busted out the window.
No, it was a whole new.
Right. So you replaced her.
No. I didn't wonder, but what I was saying is, like, we had a new addition to the house, so we had a new baby, so I had to get another vehicle, a bigger vehicle, so I could carry the family, so I bought a truck. I made sure that every trip I went out of town, that I made it a reason for her to go with it.
Did she start going because she didn't, well, she's sitting here. Did you start going because you didn't trust him out by yourself no more? Or did you start
We
going?
went to counseling. Yeah, we went to counseling, to decide if I wanted to stay married. If we wanted to stay married.
So do you feel like your trust has been rebuilt since that has happened?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So trust can be rebuilt.
Yeah.
But tell them about the work in the truck, in the rebuild.
Yeah,
Because all of that, and I'm just being honest with you. One of the reasons that I didn't want to be back with my ex because it was gonna be too much work, and I didn't want to do. It was gonna be too much work, and I didn't want to be walking around the house nervous to fart loud because everything's under a microscope for the next 3 years, and I wasn't gonna live like that. So,
Well, what I did was I pretty much had to look myself in the eye and say that, I'm pretty much the one that caused all this chaos that's around the house. I pretty much caused it. So, of course, my wife didn't do anything. I didn't shift any blame on her. I didn't try to make her feel like she was the cause of me. So now I pretty much took on the responsibility for saying what I did, what I did.
Okay, just for clarity, so when you're saying like you took on all the responsibility, so whatever came with that, you made your mind up that you're gonna double down on whatever need, whatever.
What I said was whatever comes out of this meeting, whatever her decision is, I accept.
Okay, got
She
you.
said that she
Okay,
wanted to get a divorce, I accept.
got you.
She said she wanted to work on it, and she told me the terms of what I need to do to fix it. I was gonna do it.
I couldn't talk to him. I couldn't talk to him for about.
That's quick. I'm gonna say you found that.
But when I say talk to somebody, I mean, I really didn't have any words.
Oh, okay.
Like, other than being with the babies, in the house, I mean, I didn't ask him for nothing. I didn't, nothing.
Yeah.
About 2 weeks, I could not even speak to him. Or anybody else for that matter, other than my kids. And so when we did go to counseling, even sitting in counseling, I would say no.
But also, you just had a brand new baby too.
Right.
So that's a lot.
You dealing with a lot.
You had him, And then you got the side person, we got talked our friend about beating up, that was a lot.
Yeah, that was
They missed that part.
You had to be a willing person to want to work. I ain't never been married, but I do know that the last relationship that I was in, I knew that he wanted to put in the work, or he said he wanted to put in the work. And I told him, I will only make you miserable from here out, because I will never be able to forgive you, you know, and I'm gonna make your life a living hell until you decide you don't want to fuck with me no more. You know what I'm saying? I knew that my purpose of dealing with him after that would have only been to make you as miserable as you made me. So there was no reason for me to stay.
See, one thing about, well, I think the main thing was that we were friends. And to me, it was more about two friends going through a storm. And I do have a psychology background as well. And so I do know that two people in a relationship, you will storm if it's a real relationship. And the fact that he was willing to go to counseling, because I know he did not, I know that broke him down to his core. He didn't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But he was ready every time to go to counseling. When we went in, whenever the counselor would ask questions, he was always open, honest. Even when it was something that would make me cry a little bit more, he still told the truth.
Because he was willing to do the work.
Exactly, he was willing to do the work. I'm a very loyal person. And I just think if anything can be made right or made whole, I'm willing to do it.
Can I ask you something?
And he's a person, you know, people don't come without flaws or mistakes.
Right.
I told y'all, I knew when I first met him.
Adjacent.
I saw it. So I did not put all the blame on him either. Neither one of us, I mean, his parents have been married 40-some years, but it's a different type of marriage.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say that. My mama been married 3 times. So it's not like we had the blueprint, the perfect example of what a husband and wife should be. But I wanted to be with him. He even told me, you know, if you want to go mess off or do whatever, you know, get back at me. And I'm gonna be honest, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought, and I'm like, there is nobody else in this world
Okay, but that was
that I want to hear.
just, I don't mean to rustle and take anything away from what, she's a wonderful wife. But at what point, like your husband is inviting you to go play out of town, and you're constantly saying, no, why? Why did you not? And I know, I've heard a couple of people, like someone I know really close to me, same thing, and the person ended up cheating because, well, I invite her, and I do this, and she always don't want to go. She
But
always
is that
got
an
this-
excuse?
No, it's not an excuse. What I'm saying is, at what point is you as a partner go on these dates, go on these trips? Because if that's not part of your job as that person's made to accompany them. I understand you got real small kids, you know, whatever, but at what point did you make arrangements so you can go be his partner or be his spouse on these trips, on these days, when you want to go out to the club and say, hey, let's go have a good time, and stop saying no. No.
Whether I'm rich or not.
Well, see,
Doesn't matter. What I'm saying,
I get what you're saying. Yeah, she's saying it's not an excuse.
It's like, okay, I think psychologically, and I'm glad you said you have psychological major, background. We get into relationships and we get into marriages, we get into serious situations, and once that title is stamped, they say, okay, now that it's stamped, whatever, I don't care what I don't do, because you dedicate to that stamp, it don't matter. So I cannot do whatever, and I'm in this relationship, I'm doing this, like I know you begging me to be better or whatever, but I'm like, no, I'm not finna drizzle.
Which is
I'm not
messed
finna.
up.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, since the title is enough for me to not put forth my best effort, I think that's a society thing.
Yeah.
We get into a situation and we just allow the title to dictate that I'm gonna get extra lazy, and then when something bad happens, now that person is to blame.
Right.
Like, we light them up, we publicize, we publicly go with their neck, but like it's like we lay it up. Like very few things happen like just by chance.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
Just to piggyback off of what he's saying, I think you have to look at the things that we deem small.
Right.
That's good.
Cause that's where it starts.
Yep.
That's good.
I've never been married, let me just say. So, but it starts small.
That's good.
If you start coming in with the kiss and the hug, how was your day? Then, and I know it's kids and things like that, that's good. But at the end of the day, those small things are very, very important.
Yeah.
And being tired or a conference
Yeah.
or kids or whatever life things happen can cause you to get off track with little things. With
your spouse.
exactly
The person.
your person. So if you let those little things keep happening and you don't get hold of those little
It
things,
happens.
it's gonna amount to bigger things. So I think in the beginning, you have to take hold of those little things, make sure you're practicing those things, and keep them at the forefront so that you don't find yourself getting in a place, not even intentionally, where you get less or comfortable, and then you're not doing the same things that you used to do. He has something to do, you have something to do. Is it an excuse? Absolutely not.
Right,
But
right.
there's a part that everybody, both
That's
of them.
what I'm saying is, in a scenario like they saying, he's saying, okay, well, I want you to go out of town, babe. I want you to go out of town, babe. I want you to go out of town, babe. And she like, no, babe. No, babe. No, babe. And then he like, well, shit. Give me the bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make it do what it do.
But
And that it's the person's talk who feels slighted to bring it to the table. Babe, you're not going with me to these places. I really want you to go. I feel like I'm losing you. I feel like you're slipping away. I feel like I'm gonna put my dick in you. What you gonna do?
Well,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah, well, let me respond.
If you don't respond, don't get that.
Let me respond because you're,
And when you get done, I'll respond.
Okay.
yeah,
We're gonna let our guest moderator hold, we're gonna come
I'm
back
sorry.
to
That's what I mean.
You came in hot, you came in real.
I'm sorry.
I like
Yeah,
to like.
Greg, I want to ask her something though. We
Wait,
talking about.
that's-
I'm just talking about, because we always rush to who's at fault. It's always who's responsible, whose job is, and we lose the idea that it's about service. And I'm gonna tell you about me, just Tony personally, I ain't gonna speak for men, because I don't know how men move. But I'm gonna say to you, hey, wearing them button all week, right? I'm gonna say that. Did I say that? Like I said, hey, been wearing that button all week. What we doing with the button, right? I'm just using because it's small. I'm not saying it's gonna blow us up, but I've said that, okay? Well, 2 weeks later, every day you still got that nasty button on every day. And I said, the bun. And it's not about the bun. It's about a recognition of what I present.
Right.
It ain't the bun. You can wear a style. I'm talking about that. It is, yo, I said I want to see this one time. That's all I ask. And so then it becomes not a matter of the bunny, because see, when y'all get that, he petty, it's about the bunny. No, it's not about the bunny. It's about when you gonna respect what I'm asking. I ain't asking you to go and shoot nobody. All I'm saying is, hey, let's go out over here for once, and let's go do that for once, or come here with, and it's vice versa. But after a while, I'm gonna stop saying it.
Yeah.
And everything's spiritual, okay? And I don't care who you are, whenever you get isolated from purpose, then the enemy always gonna bring something that's gonna give you the temporary attention that you want to receive. And then I don't care who you are, who we are, we're all gonna gravitate to what's in us, to what that desire is, and then we will use it as an excuse to fill a need that we ain't getting met. Now, at the end of the day, does that help you feel better that I done broke your heart and I done been bedding 85 chicks? It don't help you that I got an excuse. But I'm going to use that because I feel entitled, because I ain't getting what I'm not getting from who said they was going to give it to me.
There you go.
So then, I want to ask, I'm sorry.
I
want to ask you,
So I just want to make it clear, there was nothing lacking in our house. We have always been highly sexual. there was nothing lacking in our house. Lazy is a no-no.
Hallelujah.
My mom didn't raise no lazy woman. So I took care of my husband, I took care of the kids. So I did what I had to do. What was missing was, he was seeing opportunities to go out of town. And I'm seeing bills. And it was my perspective was we could not afford to be going out of town and doing all these good times. But at the same time, what we did learn in counseling was as you grow in a marriage, in a relationship, perspectives are going to change.
Right.
What makes you happy, what makes you fulfilled changes over the years. So that's where the conversations, like Grace was saying, the conversations have to come in. Look, babe, I know we got bills, but I'm tired. I need a break. We need to travel. Let's put that on hold and let's do this. Let's get a babysitter. There ain't nothing more sexy to me than when you already got a babysitter. Don't worry about packing our clothes. Oh, okay. We go.
But I had to say, did you see how she changed her tone? No, it wasn't anything lacking, but what was lacking is you wasn't going out of town. I did what you said, and I did what you said. Right. But as a woman, sometimes we have to step up and make sure our men take care of period. Because see, outside gonna do their job. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? They gonna do them. We have to make sure as a woman, and I've been there, like I said, I'm before, and that was my thing. I had to make sure he still was taken care of, whether I was putting him on the schedule, whether I was like, look, this is what we gotta do. Because if he got needs, I'm the person to do it. But also, we're just talking about what the women got.
All right, so we're gonna let Chris ask the question, and then we're gonna.
I really want to bring it home because y'all went real deep with that for real. And I think from a style standpoint, she's just such a focal point, and she made a good point about like people do it when they get jaded. Like you don't like trauma is real, right? Trauma is real. So I need to ask you this, and this is what I think anybody can benefit from this. What clicked in you when you was like, okay, I can trust him? Yeah. Like what happened when you was like, okay, yeah, I'm talking about.
What clicked in me when I said what?
I can really trust him again. Cause we talk about everything else, but we talk about that one.
It was earned. It was him when he go anywhere. He would call me, check in, call. Different places. He would invite me to go more places than he used to invite me to go more places. Conversations, we had a lot more conversations. Thought a lot of, our thought processes, like decisions weren't made, kind of like what they were saying earlier. Decisions weren't made, what was you saying that? When you single, people invite you to something, you go, yeah, I can do that. But when you married, you got to consult with the other person.
Yeah.
So it was a lot more conversations being had.
But you can see that he had changed.
I can see the change.
So let me ask you this question. Would you say, from your perspective, as the wife involved in all of this, who did ask for any, do you think that your marriage is better now than it was before the infidelity?
That's a great question. Let me add this too. We got married, we was 22, now 23. 23, 24, right? So we pretty much just not getting out of college. You pretty much are at a stage where you're really young and you pretty much trying to find yourself.
Oh, man.
So as you go a whole 6 months, a year, 2 years without trying to figure it out. And I'm not saying this to be funny, but you get to the point, you say, I'm 24 and I'm saying I'm married to this person, I'm expecting to be with her the rest of my life. So from this point on, I can't get no other sex from another person. Or she just can't get no other sex from another person. You have to say, that's a whole other 50 or 60 years, and I feel like I really ain't doing the experience. A lot. I feel like the experience a lot as a young man. I was in marriage thinking about it. When I went through the situation and I got to the point where I was trying to better myself, I had to changed my whole perspective about, now, I'm not really looking at it as a marriage, I'm looking at it as a life partner. So I pretty much say, can I spend the rest of my life with this person? Can I feel good with, dying in front without giving my life away? So once I was able to do all that, it pretty much changed my trajectory of how I was treating others, how I was living my life, or how I was looking to, bring the kids up. It pretty much, it kind of like made me, you might wake up in the morning, smack your wife on the butt, say, I'm pretty sure you don't even know she don't. You kiss on the jaw. Wipe teeth out of her eyes. You do a lot of other things that you can say, I can live my life with this person without even having sex problems.
I'm gonna get to this question, question we ask every year, but that's a very good point. 22, 23 is extremely young.
Extremely.
So, it's commendable at that point, 22, 23, making those decisions. Wow. I was not street adjacent, I was street immersed.
Especially at 22, 23. Oh my God. I wasn't nobody girlfriend.
I was 39, and we didn't have a baby until I was 40. And I think for me, that was probably the perfect time. Anything before 39 probably would have been a problem because there was still a lot of things that I felt like I needed to do before I got 39. A lot of pigs I needed to knock down before I got there. But I was leaving that. My next question is on deal breakers. We ask this question every year about deal breakers. Deal breakers in marriage, deal breakers in relationships. We always use the Franklins as an example of that. And we discussed this and discussed, do we have any deal breakers? Do we have things that we can fall back on and we can say, if this happens, I'm out, or if this happens, we get divorced. And I say all the time, and I think we say when divorce is so easily put on the table, you already set yourself up for failure. When you already are using it as a fallback when something happens. So we have talked, I think there's one discernible deal breaker that we talked about.
What is it?
The outside baby.
Okay, that was
Okay, so we got one discernible deal breaker that's definite, which is an outside child. Outside of that, everything else on the table, we committed to talking through. And even probably that, maybe.
Yeah, I think that was maybe a few years ago.
Few years ago, so-
I'm not sure that now that's still the case.
So that might be something that we can talk our way through too. So we try to make sure that we don't have deal breakers on the table to begin with. So it actually forces you to have to sit down and talk and communicate and try to work things out. So I'll start with the engaged couple and we'll just go down. We can talk about relationships or marriages, engagements, even,
Single people have deal breakers.
yes, single people have deal breakers as well. So
Everybody.
deal breakers in a marriage or relationship, Preston, do you think those are something that you're gonna have? Do you have any? What are they?
Have y'all discussed it?
Have y'all discussed it?
No, we can look at it.
Can we hear from Allison?
Yeah, well, definitely.
Yeah, let's get Allison.
Oh, you wanna go first? Okay.
Yeah, please.
Honestly, I don't have any deal breakers. I feel like, everything you can work through is just like, and then at any stage of life, as life goes on, life does make it harder and things of that nature. I think as far as in a marriage, if you're committed, I mean, this is the worst person, but, I think we can work through it, pretty much.
Yeah, I think that boils down to compatibility, like that's the first. Well, the compatibility standpoint, because I put her like, because it can sound like you're married, it's all optimistic. For me, I feel like it's situational and stage based. At this stage, I haven't identified any breakers at this point. Right now, where I am right now, so with that answer change in years from now, I'm not gonna say one way or the other, but right now, just our dynamic and the structure and the path that we want to go together. I don't see, for me, a reason to want to break that. So that I don't want to be this person. I counsel a lot of people, and something can come out of nowhere. And you can have this ideology one way, and it can happen, and you'll second guess everything you thought you knew. So I've seen enough of that to not be overly optimistic, but try to be optimistically real. So it's like this.
All right, Shannon, some deal breakers.
Okay, for me, I came in with the deal breaker, I'm not doing the cheating thing. I'm just not gonna deal with it. We have a very honest and understanding relationship. There's absolutely nothing I don't know about this man. Somebody can try it. I double dog there. There's nothing I don't know about him, and there's nothing he doesn't know about me. I double dog there. So we have created a space that is so honest and real. We talk about everything. I don't care if it burns his ears. He doesn't care if it hurts my stomach. If we need to deal with it, we're gonna deal with it. And how I can place that deal breaker on the table is because I feel like what we have, you ain't got to do that, my guy. And I don't have to do that. Come holler at me. Let me know what's going on. I'm as real as they come. So he doesn't have to do that. I'm not going on the cheap.
I love that.
I like how she talks to him. Hey, look there. I told her.
Hey, bro.
Hey, bro.
Well,
I don't really talk to him like that, but I'm just, you know.
Oh, no, I like it. I like it. I think she
Hey, bro.
Where you got to come?
she'll remind you Chief of Shade Oaks.
I'm just saying though.
I don't have any deal breakers. I think my perspective, because I've been married, it's like I don't have any. My expectations of marriage, they're not unrealistic. Like I don't expect for you to lay your head on my chest every night because I get hot. I don't have those expectations, and I also expect that you're gonna be human, that she's gonna be a human, and so I'm gonna give her grace to be a human. The moment I start expecting her to be something she ain't never been built to be, then I set me up to be broken. And we do that too much to each other. We say, and of course, yeah, we all stand up. I took vows at 23 years old and had no business pledging my whole life to nobody at 23 and didn't even know if I wanted to be who I was at 23. But now at 44, I can directly say to you, hey, I don't have any deal breakers. But the moment that we get to a place where we can't talk through stuff, then the deal is broken already. So it's not that I'm putting it on the table. It's the moment that that dynamic she just explained doesn't exist anymore. And I don't feel safe enough saying, she fine, ain't it? So, then we got a problem. And I can't be with you no more.
Go ahead.
I think I'm kind of with him. I don't want to say I have a deal breaker because once you speak stuff out your mouth, it feels like it's just automatic. Like where you come from? Shit, now I got to deal with you. So I don't really say I got a whole deal breaker. I really do not. I want that communication, that friendship. I think relationships start with friendship for the most part, and we should be able to talk and say, okay, I did go have sex with her. I did do it. Okay, do what you want to do on that. Or we need to go rob this bank. We do. And then we figure out. Because when you're in a relationship, you know, you say everything. Y'all want. We got to go rob the bank. We got to go rob. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? But we not listen to your line. She do not mean that. Well, and everybody know I'm really scared. So I ain't
Me too.
But I think when we together, we together, whatever you get on, it don't even matter. Okay, if we need to do this, we gotta do it. But I don't want to say what I'm not gonna do. I'm just real beat on it because I feel like once I see it, I'm gonna have to face it.
Yeah, you do.
I'm gonna have to see that, and then I gotta talk on it. And then you know the devil be like, so what you gonna do? Because you know you talk, he be like, what you gonna do, girl? I'm like, I don't know shit.
Ooh, y'all make me nervous. I just,
Me too, Shay.
We riding banks.
But the relationship, I think it makes me uneasy to I have a deal breaker. I also was married at 20, and yeah, so last 6 years, dated 4 prior to that, had 3 kids. Every 2 years, we had a child. And at that point in my life, my deal breaker, what caused us to divorce was the discipline of the children. He was a narcissist. Still is. He's on his 3rd marriage. But I will take blame for what I did or didn't do at that time, because being 23 in a marriage and being 47, now and thinking about, Lord, if I get married, I gotta talk to this person about if I buy some hair, if we don't, all my money now, so I don't know what my deal breaker is, because I think I may have at this point in my life too much I'm not willing to change.
Come on.
She was sitting up here singing,
I got too much right now at 47 that I ain't gonna change right now.
But do you want to be in a relationship?
That's what I'm saying, but how you gonna be in a relationship?
But do you want to be in a relationship?
But you hear these wonderful stories over here, it's like, I want that.
But do you really want it if you don't
beautiful.
you don't
But
have
they
no...
match.
Yeah, the compatibility part.
They match. I ain't found nobody that's
Mama
compatible.
said they work. They work. But look, they match. They do it.
Honestly,
They match.
listen, I think it's not as much when you are compatible. It's not as hard if you're already compatible. If you're already friends, it jails. You don't mind changing. You don't mind doing those things because y'all already, because you're compatible. But if you try to jail and make it work with somebody who you ain't compatible with, it's hard. That's hard.
But you're right, but
Would you
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that's what you're saying.
That's my point.
That's what you're saying, girl.
That's right.
That's it.
Well,
Oh, okay.
listen to all the stories, with me having, some extra weight to carry.
Yeah.
Being one, single, and I say complicated as well, but the fact that I am a gay black man, so I got some extra stuff that I have to deal with. Even though I do have the extra stuff to deal with, I have always had my thinking process when it comes to relationships and dating like my grandparents.
Okay.
And I say that because at 40 years old, I've seen them go through everything together. From her pistol whipping
Yeah.
and going to the hospital with me. No, seriously.
My grandma was
From that to her snatching it and confronting in public. I've seen that. And so when I say I always thought and patted myself behind that because I still saw all of the real love in that.
Yeah.
That they always showed and shared and was there. Regardless of some of the outside things that were done, I watched her and I watched him still show and share love in that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that what was done was right. I'm not saying it was wrong. But I will, to what Pastor said, it was that grace in there. They both allowed grace in there. And for me, the deal breaker would be hearing the words from my partner saying that they are in love with someone else. That will be my deal breaker. You could have been slept with Timbuktu. Because for me, because I have been promiscuous, sleeping, I have slept with people, I have had one night stand.
The street adjacent.
They meant nothing to me. But to hear those words come out of my significant other or my partner or one day spouse mouth that I am in love with someone, that's the deal breaker. I cut it out.
It's nothing you can do.
Because, and that's why that's the deal breaker. Because now I'm getting ready to fight against something that I really don't have the energy and time to fight.
But you can't fight that, like, that's.
That's why it's a deal breaker.
Ain't no shifting it.
All right, play, so y'all already talked about, y'all was walking the road, deal breakers. Say for instance, if this was to occur again, and y'all had a conversation where there's a deal breaker where this is gonna be it, if this happens.
Well, I've grown so much since then. There ain't no such thing.
You ain't going nowhere.
Right, I ain't going nowhere. There's nothing that I don't think I can talk to her about
That's good.
without her feeling like I'm trying to disrespect her. There's nothing that she can talk to me about that she feel like she disrespecting me, so we pretty much just keep an open line of communication, regardless of how asinine the question may be. We speak it out, talk about it, laugh about it, joke about it, cry about it, whatever the case may be, and then keep moving on. I don't know.
Do you? I used to have a fear of the, infidelity. But that got over.
But when you, cause for some reason, I might not be saying this right, I just feel like when you think it in your mind, just as show it.
Manifestation.
It comes, it's like, oh, once that down, I have to face the fear. Like, here we go, like, God, so just don't think it. Come on.
Right. Single man, deal breakers.
Was one thing, shit. Right, so much tonight. I knew I sat right here
For a reason. That's it.
because you guys set an example of healing and coming through stuff that a lot of people need to see and hear.
That's right.
But I would say deal breakers. I can't tell you I have a deal breaker because it'd be unfair to me because I haven't experienced what everybody is. So I can't say this person doing this to me. I'd be like, nah, this is over. I can't say if so and so says I can't feel like I can fart around you. You know what I mean? Well, it's a deal breaker. Get the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? So I would literally have to say the best example that I have for myself when it comes to love, especially black love, is my parents. My dad took me and my sister in, and we were not his kids. And he raised us, and he provided for us. He drove 2 hours to work so we could be in a good school district, and he worked somewhere else. He came home every night and deployed multiple times to make sure that we had food on the table because my mom was sick. So when I see a strong couple, I see my parents. So I guess when it comes to a deal breaker, they have been through so much. They talked it out. So I guess if I don't have the confidence to sit down and talk to my significant other, then we're really gonna have to have a conversation. Are we really compatible? Do we really speak with each other? So based off the shit that I from earlier, I would say, based off what I'm learning today, because I don't have to say a lot in order to get my point across. But I'm learning so much from everybody that's here right now that communication is very, 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 very important. You should not be hesitant around somebody that you say you love.
Right. So I'm gonna ask this question and then we'll open the floor up to our guests out here. I'm sure they have a lot of questions or comments. If y'all have any comments or any issues, man. Yes,
So here, this is for the divorced, married, before people. I guess that's Shannon, Kim, Tony. Doing it again?
Yeah, I'm definitely doing it again.
So you haven't lost the fuck marriage?
Oh yeah, I did that too. Yeah, I did that for when I got unmarried. I was like, ain't no way. I'm returning to this bondage. It ain't no way. And all of my friends, everybody, they're like, yeah, you saying that now, but I think not because I think I know how to do it better. I just think I know me better. I got a better understanding of Tony. I got a better understanding of what drives me, And I got a better grasp of my own mental health. And one other compatible thing, we just found out, we talked the other day, because we didn't talk about everything. We got the same therapist. Had no clue that we're gonna see the same person. And that, you know, I think that's put me in a spot where I can't be out here like y'all. Single folks, I can't do it. I don't know how y'all single. It's hard. It's rough.
Oh, it's hard.
It's hard.
It sounds like marriage is hard too.
I'm not.
Sounds like marriage is hard too. It's not a hard you have to get with
I think.
Y'all say it's,
We are sure
it's
to
hard, what's hard about it? Are y'all saying it's hard dating while you single, or are you saying being single is hard?
I thought I would be excited about being single, and I got single, and I ain't want to be bothering nobody.
Yeah.
Like it was everybody was like throwed off, and
They throw it out.
and it was, you know, it was just like I don't know.
Did it
And
make you miss
then
your wife?
Huh?
Did it make you miss your ex-wife?
did it make me?
Did it make you miss being married to your
Oh,
ex-wife?
no.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that
Some people are born to be in relationships, and some people are not. I think that there's a problem when we can't identify that about ourselves. So
Amen.
most of this that we're learning today is all about self-acceptance, self-love, self-awareness. When you know yourself, you know the deal breakers. You can find somebody and are drawn to people who can answer what you need.
Yeah, which is why I asked the question, because I'm so content being single. Like, I guess because I've been divorced 17 years. So it's like, I'm so content that it's hard. That's the hard part to me, because I've become content doing things my way.
Would you get married again, Shannon?
To the right person, I'm not against it. You know, I'm not against it at all. It's gonna have to be something like I've seen, you know, we're compatible, we're this, we're that. And in 17 years, I mean, I thought I may have seen it, you know, but then it's like little stuff pisses me off. And I'm saying little stuff, but it's stuff like, you know, you don't appreciate the relationship I have with my daughter. That kind of stuff.
That's not really good.
I can't fix
That's a
that.
deal breaker. That's kind of like a deal
That was a deal
breaker.
breaker in that relationship. I can't fix that. You can't control that. So you got a man trying to control your life with your children, who are young adults at that time. That was a deal breaker. So if I find someone, or I'm blessed with someone who I feel like I'm compatible with, and he accept me and respect what I got going on, and ain't trying to change that, you know, and it fits. Absolutely.
I think, in this country,
Go ahead.
no, I think we kind of changing history. What I mean by that is, we grow up, we see on TV that, okay, adult means relationship, you know, but you just said something very important. That don't mean that might not be my journey in my life, but like I'm supposed to do that. And it's drilled in us, right? So what do? We grow up, we have our profiles, we have.
So you're not meant to be alone. Who said
Right,
that?
it's like, so then you go through all these, you go through these trial and error things, like that's what I'm supposed to do. So are you doing this creating emotional trauma?
Like
You have these bad conditions. Yeah, and so then, you know.
Kim, you know, are you up for marriage again, and why is your situation complicated?
Mm-hmm.
They kind of dance around.
So we're gonna say why it's complicated, because for one, I was in an apartment, so I had to get my shit together. And that made it complicated because I was still kind of messing with my ex-husband, because we've been together since I was 15. He don't know me and I don't know. Like we don't know life without each other. My son is 23. Like whatever he rolled with, like I just said, we rolling together. You know what I'm saying? So even though he didn't want me and I didn't want him, and we didn't want to be together, we could not be together because life put us. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why it was complicated. However, I still wasn't up for just, I'm finna date. You know? So that was that. As time went by, because life happened, we had problems in our family. My dad got sick, I had to move. However, when I moved, we started getting, more closer. And, but I still got, no, No, we don't know you have sex way more because you need that person. You emotionally need that person because you got the stuff. And that's the person I know. I ain't got time to be trying to figure that out or whatever. Or you can find somebody else and we talking. It's like I ain't even got time. You know, I got time. Or you get somebody else and you trying to figure that situation. That was a lot. That whole thing was a lot. However, and not saying that the whole sexual thing had been all at the same time. The whole time, we had a lot of communication around it. You know, sex is more than just, you know, he's taking care of my kids, because he's taking care of my kids. He's taking care of our family. He's taking care of the business. Well, we're together, but we ain't together. You get what I'm saying? It's complicated. So after a while, he's like, I'm ready to date. Okay, cool, but I haven't agreed to marriage. He has. He's not ready to date because I'm not ready to date. I'm not ready to date him. You know, I'm not ready.
He wanted to date.
He did. He asked. But I'm like, look, we just do what we've been doing. Then you just hang out and shit.
So he want to reconcile.
Yeah, but I couldn't do that because I was fucked up. I'm still thrown off because we went from what I had, and I had a business. So you keeping yourself busy because you're really not facing the true fact of I'm divorced.
So you just want to sleep with him and that's it?
No, not really just that. We just knew each other. And, you know, I had to make sure he was okay. And it was not, yeah, it was the go-to, and he needed me just as much like he did. We've never been away from each other. Never.
So where is it at right now then?
It's complicated.
Y'all just in a professional state of being
No,
together?
I'm just joking. Actually, he wants to date. You know what I'm saying? So I'm letting him date. And he knows that he's dating. And, you know.
So are you cool with him dating?
No, absolutely not. That's with somebody else. But, hey, this is the thing. This is the reason why I'm not cool with him dating. This is because you mentioned dating. No, I'm not dating.
Somebody else dating.
Somebody else for clarity. But this is the reason why I would be upset. Only because that is my friend, because that's the only person we know. So you don't, even though you say you cool with somebody else, having something else, like damn, but I do kind of miss my friend though. You know what I'm saying?
Would you be better if you had somebody else?
And that's what I have. That's
You
what I'm
want
working on.
somebody else.
Yeah,
But that's the thing you have to work on, because I'm real big on, because when you come and talk to me, I really don't want your shit. I just want us to be together. So I don't want to put my shit on somebody else when I'm not good. You know what I'm saying? When I'm not
Just
good.
date Robert. He trying to hide from the shit. You trying to hide from the shit.
Y'all can hide together.
That's right. But that's why
I can see what she's saying.
I don't want to deal with that.
But see, that's why I'm a good person though. I am a good person. And whenever I
Alright, so I got this one question, and then we'll get the questions for the floor. I don't want to keep y'all long. So, I'm gonna start with Robin, and we go down here, and then we'll go.
hold on, let me say this. Because see, well, probably will be this, because I want to put it in the air, because I was like, no, I never get married. He said, hell no, I ain't gonna get married no more. Actually,
You trying to fix it because it's getting.
no, I want to put it in the air because I feel like whatever you say out your mouth will manifest. I am so big on it. Now, I would never say I would never marry him again, or I would never be with him again, or that I wouldn't consider dating him again. That's what because he is a good person. We've been together since we was 15. We went through shit.
When you marry somebody else.
When I marry somebody else,
Yeah, we think we're pretty clear on the fact that you'll marry your ex-husband.
Yeah, we did that.
I'm not gonna put it out the atmosphere. I'm not gonna
No,
put it out the
you
atmosphere.
put it in there. We got that.
Yeah,
That's
so I wouldn't.
one thing. We got that right there.
But
Even though it's complicated.
And wherever two of them agree.
But if it was somebody else that I was dating, I wouldn't be like, because I got
Why
a
you
big
trying to keep the divorce?
Yeah, it was so much shit. I mean, he had women, I mean, we was doing it fine. But
So
that's
you're not really
so
against,
y'all was married,
talking to other people.
But you're not.
You're not against talking to other people.
Well, I can't be. How can I say that and I told him I don't
But you're not doing it currently though.
I'm not, because I'm getting my mind together.
But he is, but you don't
Because
like
that's what he want to do. That's what he want to do.
And she don't like it.
But what I was
It don't seem like she likes it.
When we was married, we were cheating, baby. That's it. When we was married, we were
They
cheating.
didn't know they
No, because actually, we've been together so long. When another person came, I knew I'm in the
All right. We're gonna keep rolling.
It is.
Y'all might actually be married, so I'm just.
No, I don't even want to keep it because now we're older. You don't even want that type of life. See, Jen, I didn't know how to be married. Honestly, and I'm not trying to blame stuff on him. You know, we were so young, we just knew how to take care of it. Yeah.
All right, so this question, right here, we start here, we'll go down on the end, and then we'll get some questions from the floor again. Again, we don't want to keep y'all long. Is it possible for you to be married or in a relationship with someone that you are not physically or sexually attracted to?
Oh my God.
Like, who
said how much money they make?
I would say this because I've seen it.
There's some people that's doing it.
I would say
I just want to ask a question because, you know.
Can you repair if they ugly? Can
The
you
question is, can you be in a committed relationship or married to someone that you are not physically or sexually attracted to, but they check off other boxes?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Keyword committed.
Absolutely.
Nah, little daddy.
So I can only go by what I've experienced through other people's shit. They are not physically intimate based off maybe she's not really that big into intimacy, but he provides everything else that she wants in a relationship, and nobody else has done that for her. So she loves him, but they don't actually have a physical. I mean, they get down and down again, but it's not, oh, I gotta be with this person. You know what I'm saying? It baffles me, but it's not my life nor my path, and I'm not going to judge it. So, yeah, it's possible.
Amen.
You were asking me, is it possible to
A lifetime, have kids with someone that you look at every day and it's like,
I wouldn't call it a marriage though. I call it like a situation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Something
A business arrangement.
Business.
It's a transactional
Typically, the purpose, well, my understanding, the purpose of marriage is to actually love the person you with and be fruitful and bring kids to the world. But if they have no intention of doing any of that, everything else looks like it's a business partnership. Whether it's for the
I don't want to be frugal.
No
intention of bringing kids into it.
No, I'm saying if it's just looking at them and saying that we married and that's it, but not physically touching you or not physically doing anything with you, then it, to me, it's just a lot of people.
The answer is no. No, I'm not gonna get it.
That's right.
I like her. No.
At one point, I felt that you could not do that. But now, where I am, I think that it's possible.
Okay. For you?
For me, no. But for somebody
That was the question, Daddy.
Seriously, at one point, one of my relationships completely ended because of my drive. Like, I mean, either we ain't back because I have to. I want to, and it's got to happen. And if it ain't gonna happen because you feel like, well, we can be together without all of that. Listen, I know what it is I'm feeling, and so guess what? Either this is gonna happen, or guess what? You're gonna be separate. So, but I do think I believe I could.
I need you to repeat the question because I'm hearing, can you not have sex with somebody in your relationship? That's one question.
Married to and committed relationship, have kids with a person that
You're not
you have
attracted
decided
to.
that you're not attracted to and you're not sexually attracted to. You look at them every day in the house and nothing in you tingles at all whatsoever. But
They may pay all the bills and they may do all the other stuff that you
No.
may get taken care of. Are you think people
No.
are doing it?
No, my answer is
I mean, how is that possible though? I mean, I don't even like
people do it all the time.
But then you be like, I got this money though. I be like, okay,
I might get over for you for a couple times, but not, relationship.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
we can, if I'm struggling over it.
You gonna call, you gonna be cute at that moment.
I'm just saying.
You gotta put that on your eyes. You
Yeah,
gotta
but
put your eyes.
if that body, whatever, but.
Middle mind, Nate, middle mind.
Yeah.
Hey, middle mind.
They can't do that.
I'm in law school, I'm like,
You need shit.
I really ain't attracted to this motherfucker. But I tell you what, I'm gonna have to go get a couple more dollars. And so.
That's what your friend, what your friend gonna do. Wait, he must be real ugly.
He wasn't attracted to me. I was not attracted to him. Oh, he's not attractive. But as far as being in a relationship with someone, you don't know. I have to look at you in the morning and
feel something.
Right.
And I'm asking that question because I've seen a lot of conversations and reading and just observing with people who say that, don't get married for love, you don't get married for sex, you get married for comfort.
Security.
They are.
You can, I think that there's something to be said for once you get up a certain age. There's something to be said for recognizing what it takes to make a marriage work. For yourself and your partner, what you need, what you're gonna deal with, what you're not gonna deal with. And you may not be all, damn, this motherfucker make me wanna do that. But they're nice enough to get to that point.
Where you can grow and
Build up. That's what I'm talking about.
You gonna make them.
Now, am I saying that I have to be security? Absolutely not. You gonna make somebody that ain't good for you. That is not good. I don't know. The rock to the bed. I feel like I feel rock to the bed.
And vice versa. And vice versa.
I get what you're saying because I've heard a lot of friends like, oh, I just need a partner. I just need a partner to make sure I got half of the house and for the business.
You got your own house.
If you ain't cute, I'm gonna have to pass. I just don't. I mean, you just ain't doing it. Then you sexually ain't doing it. Oh, now you're frustrated. That's too much.
There's a lot.
No.
I think it's personal preference, but personally, I'm not old enough and I'm not mature enough to say that I can be in a relationship with somebody. I ain't that old yet, and I ain't ugly, and I ain't that mature. So,
You're right. You do have to be mature for that.
You do?
No, I gotta be attracted to you to commit to a lifetime with you, definitely. And attraction may differ amongst different people.
Right.
But I definitely have to be attracted to you. It's a part of my checklist.
Engaged couple?
No.
No, that's a simple answer. Very
She
easy.
just said no. Period.
The Bible says. I mean, I like the Bible says you should live in abundance, and that's not in us. That's equated financially, right? No, it's not.
No.
Abundance is in every facet. So, and how I am and my desire is they're cultivated over time. So, what I want, if it equates with like a purpose and just like with my space, then me not putting myself in position to pursue that and have that, I'm not living my life how I'm supposed to, which is gonna put me in a position where I'm not happy. So when it comes to like, I want what you just said, in those all those facets. I think those for me to say, okay, I just be with her and and this is not there, or that's not there, but I'm just gonna be here. That's just a recipe. Again, like I told Quinn earlier, I'm chasing misery. What I'm gonna go be in a relationship for, because this is what it's supposed to be like. So I don't.
Yeah.
And I think that question kind of, what's important to one person is not important to the next. Ain't no.
All right, so we're gonna take about 15 minutes. We're gonna take some questions and some comments from the crowd. Raise your hand. Any question, any comment?
Decent and in order.
Yeah. Don't talk over everybody who is.
I just want to speak to her question as to why dating is hard, dating you is hard. And I think because people don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
We think we're supposed to find one person that we enjoy and shut off everything in our life for that one person. And it's no, you better have you a solid roster. Like, you got your person that's for this, and the person for this, and the person that steps up, the person that makes you feel the most you.
That's the hungry.
Then you get into a relationship. You judge and you today. What works for you and what works for them.
So, I'm gonna disagree with you on that, agree to disagree, because for me and my mental health, and I would think anyone else, would like to deal with their mental health, spreading yourself thin is too much time for me and my mental health. I can't date you Tuesday and Wednesday, date you Thursday and Friday, and date you. You see what I'm saying? So now I have to spread myself. I have to move about. I have to move about. I have to do this with you because this is what we do. I got to do this with you because this is what we do. This was that for me. My mental. That's exhausting.
I'm gonna tell you
So I would want to dating for me is just what that is. I'm in courtship. I'm in old school mode. I'm in that courtship. You got to date me. We have to date each other, not us dating others. Now I have friends who laugh at me all the time because they have multiple people that they date. I don't agree. I'm not gonna. There's too much energy. There's too much energy for me. If we're gonna date, I need to be getting to know you. And you should want to be getting to know me. That's my idea of dating.
But I guess what I'm saying, because people have different reasons why they connect with people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you take 6 months to figure out, I'm only dating you. I'm getting to know you. And I'm feeling like you getting to know me. And then that person is talking to, they talking to 5 other people. So you didn't invested 6 months of your time with somebody thinking that this was going to develop into something else, and I'm assuming that this is what you're saying, that you're developing something with somebody, and you're solid with somebody, only to find out that that person is exploring their options as well. So,
and I get that. And I get that. I was just speaking on that point for my mental. I'm going to maneuver my energy.
Conversation though is that I haven't dated in a long time, so should there be a
No, it's
conversation?
not a conversation because people want you to be a placeholder. People will bet you to be a fucking placeholder. And so when you have it, you can come in honestly and say, if you want to date other people, if you want to keep, I just want to fuck with you.
But I'm with Flumin, like, let's talk about what we doing. Like, if I'm seeing 5 people, I'm gonna tell you, I'm seeing 5 people.
That's you though.
But it should be like that around the board.
Yeah,
That's a conversation that you had. I'm not looking for nothing serious. I'm trying to explore my options, and I'm just trying to see
Let me ask
what's
y'all
up.
this though, but what about discernment though? Like
That's my point of energy.
yeah, like
Yeah,
one thing about women,
That's my discernment. That's
one
my
thing I know about women,
point
man.
of energy.
All my life, y'all got superpower. Like y'all got superpower. Like women can feel like when a woman's into us. I'm asking y'all this. The women that knows into themselves, they're going boom, man. I'll be like, what you talking about? And then, so I feel like if you engaging people in that personal space, your discernment should tell you that reliable or in your trajectory. Nobody's saying it. It's all about because somebody can lie. No, but what you?
Yeah, they do.
That's what I'm saying.
And they
No, your vibe, your energy can tell like, okay, this ain't for me. You ain't got to pray or nothing.
It should be.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that in listening to everybody, that's why to me, the foundation is so important. I know stuff is gonna happen that you can't help, but your foundation has to be solid or that thing gonna crumble if it's not. And how bad it crumbles how bad it crumbles, I think depends on your foundation, how
hear exactly what you're saying. That's your style, that's your way, that's your dating process. And that process may involve, I'm gonna have a couple people, I'm gonna have fun, and that may be something that she may be able to handle, and that works for her and who she is.
Right.
As it is not for you. That's not how you work. I need to deal with you. I'm gonna see what you're talking about, and not close that chapter when I'm ready to move on and get somebody else. So all of that is dating, and your process of dating is on you. However, that's why honesty is so freaking important, because you gotta be able to say, this is what I'm doing.
Right.
Who are you? How you roll.
You gotta know-
Now, they may lie,
though, 'cause
but
some people out
honesty-
there living lives that ain't their own.
exactly, you're gonna run into lies, but honesty protects me. Because when I run across something that does not mirror what you told me, I don't feel way about letting you go on about your business and me going to get my piece and making my next move. Because I was honest with you.
Right.
You lied, let me go on.
Right.
So get it right in the beginning so it won't crumble so hard on down.
So I know we need to move on. I want to make this point with what she just said, which is why my single is complicated, because of the person that I am seeing, but I'm the one that's making it complicated because of what has been shared with me, what we have shared in conversation. And so when I put that in place, but yet I'm not seeing it from you now that it's in place, I'm choosing to sit here and do this, waiting, hoping that it happens. I'm making that choice to make it
That's
complicated.
why you work for that though, it's not complicated.
But I'm making it complicated because I don't have to deal with it. If it's what you really have shown me that, yeah, I'm absolutely.
We gotta
I'm
come
good.
in over here, we gotta come in. Oh,
But I want to say something to her. How old are you? So that and because I'm 38, 39, but
You know how we
I got it. But listen, because I understand what you're saying too, because we have so many people that will hit us up. Oh, this person hit us up today, we talk to them. This person hit us up today, we talk to them. Oh, we might talk to them constantly. And we might not have nobody. In 3 weeks, we might not have nobody. So, like, what happens to this person? I don't even know. They didn't even return my call, or they didn't even do this. So you do sometimes have to have a constant roster, because they're not. Yeah, you can sitting up there, but at the same time, I also get what he's saying. Like, look, let me know what we doing, because I don't need to be. My energy don't need to be going.
you gotta know
from left to
yourself.
right.
You gotta know what you need and what you
What you
want.
need and what you want.
And when you know that, you'll draw what you need to.
I think the foundation has to be how you are. Like, I'm straight with you, so it's not an energy pool. Because I'm not even pulling nobody that's not gonna coincide with my energy and what I'm putting out. Because I don't have to worry about you draining me, because you're not gonna come to them. You can't
What you put out, you get back.
So the people that I do talk to, the people that I am around, they meet, they match for a reason.
Yeah.
And if I feel like at some point it's not,
You sound real healed.
Yeah,
And so you
It takes a level of freedom and healing to be able to do what's best for you, make no apologies for it, and it works for you. So sometimes you gotta be in a healed place. You and your alignment needs to be okay before you move forward.
And so going by what she went to say, she in that space, she still down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody got a question, comment? Anybody?
I did have a question,
Yes.
for Shannon, because you are an all-star. So here's my question to you, because you are an all-star, and in the midst of, going through this, what are some things that you have learned about yourself as you have moved, relationship-wise, how you've moved? What are some things that you have learned about yourself?
That I'm happy by myself. I don't need another person to make me happy. So when I'm with someone, it adds to my life.
That's it.
That's exactly what
That's it, that's the key.
So if I'm not getting that, then I'm not happy with that person, and you are taking away from my already happiness, and so I have to let you go. Because you're messing things up.
You
And I
appreciate your
really
value.
appreciate my value. I run into a lot of friends who are not happy with me. and they're not happy by themselves. And you gotta be happy with yourself, by yourself. I can't make you happy with me, you know?
I have a question. Since we're with you, I'll start.
Yes,
So, can you explain how you go from dating to we are now in a relationship? And what have you assessed as you have been dating? If there's a time frame, like how long is
I'll say this, I jumped into relationships way too fast.
Yeah, okay.
I will admit that, because I feel like if I'm with somebody, I feel a connection, I'm like, we gonna get a relationship.
I can attest to that. Because I don't think
I'm
it's
ready to
a
have
time
sex,
frame.
I'm ready to do all these wonderful things, I'm ready to us, you know, now, you might not can spend like it, but I'm saying like, it's hard for me to date around.
Move in.
So if I got a connection with this person, it don't take long for me to say, okay, to a relationship.
But are they agreeable?
They don't want to go through a relationship, I'm like, okay, cool, you know, I can see that, and, but a lot of times it's way too fast. The last one I was in was way too fast, not the one I probably dated about 7-8 people since I've been married. But, the last one.
It's coming, Shannon, it's coming.
Oh, my Lord, Jesus. The last guy that I dated, this was his third time really trying to communicate. We went to high school together, and we went out on a date. Maybe like the first weekend of October. I think we decided like the next day we was gonna be in a relationship. And it was like, you know, because he was just so good. Like he was the first.
High school together.
We did, but it was like so
So
good.
you feel like you have a connection already, so we don't need to go through all of that.
Yes.
Which is kind of.
Yes. But it's so much that has happened within that person that I really
Don't know.
didn't know a lot about him. Currently, I knew what I thought, but it's a lot I did not know. The first like 4 weeks was good, and then it was like I don't know where you were. I don't know that you were his mama, my roommate. I don't know, you know, it's stuff that I was like, you know, but I still tried to like, okay, but it was hard because I didn't want, I'm a person if I'm dating, I don't want to hurt your feelings. And that's one reason why I try to stay back all the time, because it's hard. They say, well, you need to have a conversation about money, right? And when you on your own for so long, that's a hard conversation to have about how much you make. What kind of money you bring in?
Because you don't want to
talk about the future.
Y'all having them conversations in relationship?
And doesn't have to be posed like that.
I don't know how to have those conversations, but if I feel like I can't do things because I don't know how much money you make because I have your spending account is capped up. I feel like that started to be like, well, we may not be all that compatible because I like to travel, I like to go out sometimes, and if I take out my credit card or whatever to pay too many times, and you don't do it one time. Put your wallet up because right. I'm like, oh, right. You know, my mama like, you let you pay? Yes, ma'am. You know, and you like, I want to share in that sometimes because I don't want the man to always pay. But if it's too many times, I'm starting something wrong with financial situation. So because I work hard, like I said earlier, to be where I am, and I ain't rich at all, but I'm okay, and I work hard so that I can be comfortable. I can't have somebody, you know, now y'all, we can't go to New Orleans because I don't know what his money looks like. I can't be like that, you know, so that kind of started me, this not gonna work for me. And it ain't about, it's like, it's not about finance, but it kind of sort of is.
It has some importance.
It has some importance, ma'am.
I think that nobody's really ready for a mature adult relationship until you've had to sit with yourself.
Yeah.
And for the most part, we don't really get there until trauma sends us to that place.
Yes.
And by the time, well, let me, I'm gonna talk about Tony, not generalize. So for me, trauma sent me to a place where I had to get somewhere and sit down and really just sit with Tony. So how does Tony handle these emotions by himself? And I'm not talking about where you run away and you hide and you make an announcement that you're coming out social media so you don't have to deal with your stuff. I'm talking about where you don't deactivate, where you don't mute mentions, where you actually sit with you in all of that, and then when you come out, you can literally say, all right, I'm dealt with that. I'm good on that. I'm good on this. And you're not there until every box that you have created for somebody else for you to check off until you can check off yourself. And I think, this is just Tony Yara, I think that we do a lot of projecting in relationships. And we are expecting things out of people that A, we hadn't mastered ourselves. And B, we're asking people to give us stuff that they don't have the capacity to give. And then you become a victim of your own miseducation about what you want. And so it's everybody else's fault. Everybody toxic. And I'm going, and everybody ain't for me, I'm cutting them off. And they ain't for everybody. No, you're not healed. You ain't for you. What's being proven is that everybody you feeling around with and fornicating and filicating and all these other cases, they not the problem. The problem a lot of times is you. And so what I'm learning with Sheena is that while there are things that Sheena does that may aggravate me or agitate me or piss me off, at the end of the day, I'm always the problem. Because Sheena's mature enough to be able to have a real conversation about it. Tony is gonna go to emotion after food, then I gotta come back and apologize. And now everything that I was trying to raise, I killed it because I ain't grown enough. So I gotta go back and sit with me longer and say, okay, you right. She wrong as hell. But you can't win right now because you still sit in a place of immaturity and you've killed the opportunity to do it. So all I'm saying is that these things are great, but until we start getting in folks' faces and really challenging who they really think they are, they'll never get better. Until you start pushing people to their growing edges, and they ain't gonna get to their growing edges until you can get them to be aware of their blind spots. And so all of us trying to lead from a place that we ain't mature or we don't have the capacity to get. So just get somewhere and sit down, sit with yourself, ask yourself some real hard questions about why the last 8 didn't work, why the 19 years you put in a marriage didn't work, why you should have left in 2011. You know, all those things. Why didn't you leave? Will you get in a relationship and still have those same things? So let's close ranks around us. What do I need to do so that I can be healthy and functional, not perfect? Because ain't nobody in here that, because the moment you see y'all want healed to mean perfect. That ain't what that means. Healed mean that I can F up and then come right behind that F up and say, you know what, I did that. I did that. I own that. That's what we're trying to get. Not to, you don't never do nothing wrong. It's always gonna be great. It's gonna always be perfect. Me and Sheena might leave here and go and act a whole food before the night over.
Because she from Chicago.
Shady Oaks and Moon Sunset.
Oh,
There it is. But anyway,
All right,
Sunset, Liberty, Orange Street.
I think that was an excellent. I think that was an excellent stopping point, because we could be in here till 6 o'clock talking about this. It's always a great conversation. But we do want you guys to make sure that y'all keep us in touch with your journeys. Most of y'all journeys, I think all of y'all really, we kind of see, at least on my news feed, I think, we kind of see what people are going through in their dating, their single, and their married lives. We appreciate y'all for being a part of this family. We appreciate y'all for being honest. First of all. And thank y'all again for sharing y'all stories. This is always an event that kind of like a labor of love, because we do this, and it's a free event because we just feel like people need to come in and be a part of this discussion. And again, we learn from listening to everyone's testimony and
kind of helps because nobody is perfect. And then at the end of the day, ultimately, we always say, and you walk out of here, you have to do what's best for you. Individually. So you do what's for each individual relationship and do what's best for you as a single person. Everybody is different. Everybody's thoughts and aspirations and everybody's attractions are different. There is no one way. There is no one way someone can tell you to do it. There is no, this is the path, this is the book, this is the handbook. We can tell you that that's not the case, and I think everybody pretty much here knows that. So, y'all go on in y'all's journey, man, just live it and do what works for y'all at the end of the day. After, this event, each year we go and we get with the panelists and those who want to go, we go and eat, we sit in fellowship, we drink and have a good time. And I think my bride will kind of know because I know. I threw it to you because I want you to take it. So you're going right back to me. All right, so we'll let y'all know what we're going to kind of sit and cohabitate. But again,
It won't be sad movies.
Oh, what? Selling movies, let's Not the suit, the new song.
Okay, we'll go there.
See, y'all, it's a whole sound movie story that we can't really get into. I mean, it was a whole situation, but it's always a good place. But y'all make sure y'all fellowship with each other. And again, those of you in the room that have a business, if you have a venue, if you have anything, make sure you go up to people, get phone number, card, email. Because again, we're in the Synergy Link. This is the home of Mississippi Black Page. We want to make sure that our Black dollar circulates in our community. So, talking Pastor Yarborough about his church. You're also doing martial arts training as well. We got directories in here.
Oh, yeah.
We got a person who does counseling. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right. The chiropractor, I'm definitely finna get his card. I gotta go see him directly immediately.
His lawyering.
Got your lawyer over here.
Got your lawyer, you got your makeup, and you got your.
No, I'm an image consultant.
All right, image consultant.
No, I don't even want to do you, okay, but, I just, I'm sorry. But if you know driver, because I need a driver for our trucking company, like ASAP, they need to be a good driver, so not the ones that don't want to come to work, because I ain't got time to be there.
Is it local driver?
No, yes, my dad gave me the business, right? She's so busy. Sober, my dad got sick, so yeah.
A trucking company.
Have a trucking.
Is it driving local?
Well,
Is it driving local or route?
No, they need to drive routes. I need them to go and stay out and don't come home till Friday. And
But they do come home every Friday.
Yeah, most definitely. And then we pay 25% a load, percent a load. But we need that. I need a driver. We also have I have a hair boutique. So you need your hair, your yours. And we have a podcast. Yeah.
Okay. So everybody in this room that has a business, y'all make sure y'all mingle real quick. We're gonna go to Silent Movies after this. And we're gonna fellowship.
you wanna go somewhere else?
That's fine.
All right, so y'all tense fuck. We going to Silent Movies. All right, but anyway, thank y'all so much for joining us, and thanks to the people who joined us on the live cast on YouTube as well. And we'll see y'all next year. All right, bro. Thanks, bye.
Yeah. Everything.